In 1870, with about 4,000 inhabitants, Stillwater was the largest settlement in Washington County. From its commanding position at the head of Lake St. Croix, one observer described it as the commercial and manufacturing center of the entire lumbering district. Good transportation helped the city prosper. The river carried goods between Stillwater and river ports to the south, and early stage roads connected the city west to St. Paul, north to Marine, and south to Point Douglas. But those were seasonal, with a frozen river in the winter and muddy roads in the spring. Frustrated by the slow steps taken toward rail service, in 1867, area business leaders organized the Stillwater and St. Paul Railroad. And on December 29, 1870, the first train entered the city, carrying 300 people on an excursion from the state capital. When the engine ground to a halt, the passengers were greeted by city officials and the town band, and then the crowd marched to the concert hall to celebrate the occasion. The next day, the tables were turned, and 150 Stillwater citizens clambered aboard a train to St. Paul, where they partied into the night at a local hotel. One guest wrote, "At midnight, a gorgeous banquet was served in the immense dining room where wine and wit and beauty and jokes and merriment reigned in undisputed sway." In 1882, the Chicago, Minneapolis, and St. Paul Railroad built a new brick depot and freight house. It was intended to house the heavy work of the railroad. Constructed of limestone and brick, the building was 200 feet long and 40 feet wide. The limestone foundation walls measured approximately 2 feet thick, and the brick-bearing walls were 18 inches thick. Over the following decades, the freight house housed a telegraph office and the Railroad Express Agency. While the freight house served its purpose, it was plain and functional, not the image that the city wanted to present to the world. Plans were already underway for an elegant passenger station, and a few years later, in 1888, the Union Depot opened. Designed by Chicago architects Edward Burling and Francis Whitehouse, and built of stone, the local newspaper called it a thing of beauty and a joy forever. Passenger service from the Union Depot ended in 1927, although the Northern Pacific Railway operated a ticket office in the building until 1954. For a few years, it saw service as a bus stop. Purchased by the Hooley family, local grocers, in 1959, the magnificent depot was torn down the following year to make way for a new store, a farewell to the era of rail passenger service in Stillwater. Fortunately, the old freight house remained in place, and in 1980 was placed in the National Register of Historic Places.